Hi, I'm Jerry Ford and I've got 3 great tips to help you use your Babylock, Jet Air, or Extraordinaire Serger and make it easier and more fun to use. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first tip I have for you is to show you an easy way to get your threads, your looper threads, underneath of your foot. Okay, I'm going to use my trusty old Evolve Wave for this demonstration, but this will work the same whether you've got the newer models or the older models. I'm going to put this on you. I'm going to lock my threading tubes down and use the pump, and I can just put this right over top of that foot. Same thing with the lower looper. Put it on L and the lower looper. Now, I've taken a lot of classes that say you can just so leave your threads on top of these loopers. That bothers me, and you'll get a good stitch. I'm from the old school where I was always taught that you always start sewing with your threads underneath of your needle. But the problem with putting these threads under this needle is because you get this little tiny spot to put it through, and I can't do it. So I have come up with a cute little way to get those threads under there and not cause me to have cold sweats. Okay, so what you do is after you've you put your thread through the Jet Air threading, then you grab a hold of, you can do one or both threads, grab a hold of these threads in your left hand, put your finger on top of that cutting blade, go to the left of the blade and under the foot, and it's now all of my threads are behind the foot, making life a lot easier and stress-free for me. Okay, the next tip I have is a problem that I have when I'm using the beading foot or applying beads to the edge or even to the center of my fabric. Well, the problem is that the beads tend to drag underneath of the foot, and I end up getting this awful puckering. So I've set up my machine using the beading foot, and I've set, this is going to be a rolled edge, so I've set this to D, your stitch selector to D. I have put my differential feed all the way down to 0.6, and I have changed my stitch length to a 4 rolled, okay, because this is going to be a rolled edge. So what I want to do is I'm going to first feed my beads through. I'm going to open the doors, raise the presser foot and feed my beads through. Take maybe 1 or 2 stitches to secure my beads. Now I can let go. I'll shut the doors. I'm going to raise this needle all the way up. And so how I'm going to handle this, I am putting my finger, my middle finger on the back of those beads, and I'm making a space between my middle finger and my thumb, and the thumb is going to stay on the fabric, and I'm going to help it to pull those beads along. So I'll just touch the fabric. Okay, now see, and as I am stitching, pulling, however far that fabric moves is how far I move those beads along with it. And I'm just helping those beads through. And look, that is now nice and flat. Of course, it will also help if you starch your fabric or use Terrible Magic to help stiffen this edge. You'll get a better stitch out. This time I'm going to use it when going from a 3-thread overlock to a 3-thread wave. So what the problem here is that I need to move these 2 threads from the number 2 and number 3 slot to the number 1 and number 2 slot. And I don't want to rethread the needles, and I don't want to rethread the loop. Again, I want to move this needle, the right needle thread, from the right needle position to the left needle position. although the needle is still in the right hand side. Okay, I come up here. I'm going to raise the presser foot, come to the top, go along the top of the machine like a karate chop, grab a loop, feed it through the thread guide. You'll hear it click and it comes out. Then I move it to the thread guide it needs to be, and then just take up the slack on this thread. Okay, same thing here. Going to come up with my right hand near the top of the thread mast, karate chop to the back, make a loop behind the machine, feed it through, and it comes right out, and now you can put it where it needs to go. Okay, and I'll take up the slack. And now I'm ready to stitch, and I haven't had to rethread one needle or one looper. I love this. So now it's ready for the wave stitch. Now I'm ready to stitch the wave stitch. So I put the wave selector on W, and I've put my stitch selector at B, my stitch length at 1, and now I'm ready to stitch the wave. And now I've got a beautiful wave stitch, and I haven't had to rethread the needle or rethread that looper, and it came out lovely. If you have any questions, give us a call at Attic Treasures in Occoquan, Virginia at 703-490-1536, or send me an email at waltzquilt, that's WALTZQUILT @yahoo.com. Thank you for watching. Bye.